week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
Because I know we don't have you too much longer. Eddie Hearn, the big Tyson Fury Dillian White fight, he feels at some point Fury will exchange with White and get knocked out by a left hook. Any response or thoughts on Fury White?
What the fuck does Eddie Hearn interfering with a fight that Frank Warren and I are promoting? I mean, Eddie Hearn is all over the place. He never stops talking. He never gets anything really accomplished unless the zone gives him a shitload of money to outbid everybody else. But, Eddie Hearn, why is he talking about a Tyson Fury Dillian White fight? I don't need Eddie Hearn to sell my fight. I mean, when we started ticket sales last week, and in 3 hours we sold 85,000 seats, which is, Eddie Hearn never did anything like it. And now we're asking the municipality for the permission to add another 10 or 15,000 so we could have a crowd of 100,000. Let Eddie Hearn worry about Joshua. Let him worry about the other cockamamie guys that he has in his stable. And I don't need him to give me any help promoting my fight.
What the fuck does Eddie Hearn doing interfering in my fight? Wow, those are the words of Bob Arum as he responds to Eddie Hearn's prediction of Tyson Fury fighting Dillian White. Let me counterpunch. You can see by now the name of Eddie Hearn pisses off Bob Arum. I mean, it really does. I mean, that was a prediction. They asked a promoter, like most reporters do, what does he think, Eddie Hearn, of Tyson Fury taking on Dillian White? And he gave his prediction. He didn't say, I think they need to promote it this way, promote it that way. I think they need to ask this or ask that. I think this needs to be done this certain way. No, that wasn't the question. The question that they asked Bob was, Eddie Hearn feels that Dillian White, in exchanges, could knock out Tyson Fury. And Bob went ballistic. And it just shows you, though, that Bob Arum is really, it's hard for Bob. I'm going to tell you why. Competition-wise, it's hard for Bob because Bob was on top for so long, okay? Bob had if Bob was Nike, Don King was Reebok, and they spiraled through decades competing against each other. Okay, competing. From Ali to Tyson to Holyfield to Trinidad to De La Hoya to Manny to Floyd, to all these type of fighters, Cotto, Ward, and then finally he really kind of outlasted Bob Arum. Don King. Don King is still promoting. He still has Trevor Bryan. But he's fell off the deep end. Okay? And really, the person that picked up Don King's slack was a younger guy, Eddie Hearn. And Eddie Hearn's like 42. Bob's like twice his age. You know what I mean? Frank Warren's older too. He's still in the game. He looks like he's on the incline now. But as far as Bob goes, he doesn't like to hear Eddie Hearn's name with anything he's involved with. You know, and then you also heard him say, well, hey, well, when the zone gives him a lot of money to outbid people, he's still bitter about that Teofimo Lopez and Gamboso's fight because Eddie outbid him, and he's been really pissed off about that ever since. Make no mistake about it. He's been pissed off about that ever since. Okay? Like, seriously. He's been to the point like, you know, I can't stand Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn disrespected me. He violated. He stepped over the line. He's an habitual line stepper. That's how Bob Arum looks at Eddie Hearn. Okay? He says he really doesn't get anything done. He's all over the place, which Eddie Hearn is all over the place. And that's another thing. Eddie Hearn's younger. Eddie Hearn has passion for the business. So Eddie Hearn is able to travel. He's able to be in someone's face, and he has the energy, the youth to do it, which Bob Arum really doesn't have that. Bob can show up in fights, but he's 90 or 91. I think he's one of them. I think he's 91 now. Him and Don King. And they just can't get around like that. You know what I mean? They got all the money in the world, but it's just like the energy. You know, it takes energy to do that. Bob will send people out on his behalf a lot of times, especially if it's somewhere else. But Eddie Hearn's everywhere. Okay, he's all over the place, and he does not mind doing interviews, count after count, channel after channel, station after station. You know, he doesn't mind. Okay, so the biggest to the smallest, Eddie's doing them because he's getting his name out there. So yes, he's all over the place. And I think that's one of the intimidating things that Eddie brings to the table. You know what I mean? Bob Arum, don't get it twisted. He has magnificent, gifted, favored longevity. He's 91. Okay? You want to live longer? Become a boxing promoter. You want to live shorter? Become a boxer. Right? But no, Bob Arum totally went off on him, and I know it's just not from that. It's from other things that he has no control over. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of this eruption from Bob Arum. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.